This conference will now be recorded.
So, in the last class, we have seen about your uh, the table maintenance generator we have seen, and we have seen what will happen if you add if you add the fields once the TMG gets created, and then how to pass some default values in those fields, or else how to update the values automatically by the system. So for that we have used something called as your TMG events. So how to create the event and what is the ABAP code you have to write, I have already explained you. And then how to make your fields as a gray out. So that we have seen in your last class. Now in today's class, the first thing we are going to see is the enhancement category. What is meant by this enhancement category? Now, so when we are activating the table, so once everything has been created, when you are activating the table, you will be getting something called as your enhancement category. What is meant by this? So whether it is possible to enhance the table or not after releasing of your TR. If it is possible or not to enhance. Enhance means nothing but adding or deleting or changing. Changing. So adding or deleting or changing. If it is possible or not to enhance the table post the TR has released. Has released. So we need to define this enhancement category. We need to define the enhancement category. We need to define this enhancement category. So this is an optional, remember that. So it's an optional. If you want, you can define it or you can leave it as it is. Now we need to define the enhancement category. So that's the reason we till now I didn't show you about this enhancement category. So we need to define your enhancement category. The enhancement category can be defined in 5 different ways or 4 different ways. One is, sorry, so the one way. So if I let me log on to my SAP, let me log on. So now if I go to SE11, so now this is the table we have created. Now if I want, so extras, and you have to go to your enhancement category. Now you can see here, C is not classified, select the enhancement category. So can be enhanced, deep structure. Deep is nothing but if you want to add any structure into this, whether it is possible or not. Can be enhanced character type or the numeric type. So if you can add only the character type or numeric type, or can be enhanced only the character types, or cannot be enhanced, the first one is can be enhanced. Can be enhanced, can be enhanced deep. That means adding a structure or a table type. Adding a structure or a table type. I didn't tell you about the table type, I didn't tell you about the structure. The next concept anyways we are going to see is your structure or your table type. The next one is can be enhanced enhanced either your character or numeric type, character or your numeric type, and can be enhanced only the character type. The fourth one is cannot be enhanced, cannot be enhanced. And the fifth one is not classified, not classified, not classified. Now, in this, which option you are going to think is what you have to provide? Is what you have to provide. Usually in real time, either we will be selecting the first one or your second one. Or if you have not selected, that is also fine. If you have not selected, that is also fine. No one is going to be asking you. Okay. So usually in real time, we will select either the deep enhancement, or I can say this as can be enhanced enhanced the character or the the numeric type. So this is called as your enhancement category. What kind of a fields that you can expect to be added once the TR has been released, or what kind of a changes that is expected to add in the table after the TR has been released is called as your enhancement category. So, and remember, it's an optional. It's an optional. Maybe you might have do it, or maybe you might don't require to do it. Anything is fine. Okay, it's an optional. You might or you might not. No one is going to care about that. This is called as your enhancement category. Now the next one is, so the pending topic over here. So if I say this as can be enhanced, and if I click on copy, now when I say activate, see, you're not getting any pop-up window. You're not getting any pop-up window. There is one more thing called as your indexes. So the pending topics are indexes, the append structure, the foreign key relationship, the currency and quantity fields tab, and your search help or entry slash help check. So these are the fields that are pending over here in this table. Now we are going to see about your structures. So what is a structure? How to create the structure? How to add the structure to the table. So in this table, you will be having two types of your tables. One is your standard tables, which have been created by SAP. One is your custom tables that has been created by us. So how can we add the structure to your standard tables? How can we add how can we add the structure to our custom tables is what we are going to see. Okay, so these pending topics, so these search helps we are going to see in your search help. So when we are defining the search help, so I need to tag the search help either in the table hyphen field level or inside your data element under the further characteristics. You will be having your search help there. Also you can assign it, or you can assign under your entry slash help check. Entry slash help check, you can assign it over there too. So how to assign all these things we are going to see. Now currency and quantity fields, I have to create one more table called as course table. I'll be creating the course table, and then in that I'm going to show you the currency slash the quantity fields. What is meant by this currency slash quantity fields? Okay. So now let me go ahead and start with our structures. Okay, let me go ahead and start with our structure. Now, what is a structure? So a structure is a collection. Sorry for that, guys. So now structure, structures. So structures, it's a collection of fields. So it's just a collection of fields. It's a collection of fields. So that's it. So it won't hold it. We can't able to we can't able to store the data in the structure. Remember that. Always remember this. We can't able to store the data in your structure. It's just a collection of your fields. Whereas table is a collection of fields plus data. You can able to store the data in your table and you can able to collect the fields also. A table without contains a data, we can call it as a structure. So a table without holding any data is called as a structure. Remember that one. So that means table internally it will do a structure plus it will store your data. But whereas explicit structure is just nothing but it's a collection of fields. It's just a collection of fields, or I can say this as your column headers. Your column headers. That's it. Okay. So this is what is called as your structure. This is what we'll call it as your structure. Now, what is the purpose of creating a structure? The main purpose is reusability. The main purpose is reusability. That means when we create a structure, when we create a structure, we can, one second, when we create a structure, we can use that structure in multiple data element, in multiple tables, in multiple tables, or we can also use in multiple structures, multiple structures multiple structures. We can also use that in your multiple structures, and we can also use in the programming. We can also use that in your programming. We can use that in your programming. Okay. So in the program, when we are executing, when the in the pro when the pro in the program, when we are running, or I can say this as executing, it will hold one record of data. It will hold, it can store one record of data. Just it can store one record of data. It can store or it can hold during that execution. So that means when you are going to execute the program, it can hold one record of your data. This is called as your structure. Simple. Now, how to create, or steps to create these structures? Steps to create the structure. Steps to create the structure. The first one is go to SE11. SE11. What is the next one? So select the radio button data type. Radio button data type. And then provide the name of the structure as per, the naming conventions. as per the naming convention. So we will start with ZS. ZS underscore your application area underscore your description. Your description. So this is what you will be writing it, and then click on create and click on create. So now SAP will open a pop-up window, in that select the radio button structure, select the radio button structure and click on continue. Click on continue. Provide the description of your structure, provide the description of the structure, provide the description of the structure, and then provide the respective fields and its data element and its data elements and click on save and activate by providing the package and the tr. So this is what you need to do it in case of your structure. Simple. So let me log on to SAP again. So now I'm going to SE11. So here I'm going to select my structure. So I'm going to take ZS underscore J27 underscore. Let's take some common fields. So I'm just going to take this as the common fields and then click on create. So here you need to select your structure and then click on continue. So common fields. What are your common fields? Now your component. What is your component? The component is nothing but your field name. The component is nothing but your field name. Let's take, I want to add my username, date and time. I want to add my username. So here you need to mention what is your types and you need to mention this uname, your data element, or you can define with your predefined type. And then I'm going to take this as zdate and I'm going to take this as types, and then I'm going to take this as your datum, and next ztime, and I'm going to take this as types, and then I'm going to take this as UZEID time. So that's it. So whatever the common fields you have, you just added it and just click on save and providing your package as well as your TR. So what is your respective TR? I'm just going to provide that and then click on activate. Click on activate. So here also it will ask you your enhancement category. If I say activate this, it will throw you a warning saying that enhancement category of your table is missing. See, it is also considering this as your table. I told you a table without a data is called as your structure. A table without a data. So how can you provide this? Go to extras, enhancement category, and can be enhanced, and then click on activate. So this is, so that's it. Now how to add the date, how to add the structure to my database table. So let me open the database table and let me click on change. I'll go ahead and remove these three fields for now. I'll just go ahead and remove these fields for now and just activating the table. I'm just activating the table. Now how to add the fields. So how to add the structure to your database tables. In SAP, we do have two types of database tables. Database tables. One is the custom database table. One is the custom the custom database table, and the second one is the standard standard database tables, custom database tables, as well as your standard database tables. The custom database tables as well as your standard database table. The database tables which we are created are called as the custom database tables. The database tables which SAP is created is called as your standard database tables. Now, for the standard database tables, we don't have an option to edit. See, these tables are created by SAP, and we don't have an edit option. So that means we don't have a change option. It will ask you for your access key. If I go here and provide a table called as Mara, let me click on change. See here, it's asking for your access key. Remember this access key will only be gets asked for your ECC systems. When you are working on S4 HANA system, it will allow you to change. S4 HANA is a open source. S4 HANA is a open source. You can do whatever you want, but we will always practice the methods what we have done in the ECC. What we have done in the ECC, we'll practice the same methodology only. We'll practice the same methodology only. Even though if you have a change option in S4, we won't be working on that. S4, you will be having a change option. I have given you somewhat the S4 accesses. So who are personal to me, I have just provided them the S4 access. If you go ahead and open the Mara table, it will allow you to change. But don't do that. Never ever do any direct updates or direct changes to your standard. Never ever do it. It will create a complications when you are going to upgrade your system. It will create a complications when you are going to upgrade your system. So never ever do that. SAP has provided a different way for adding the fields or adding your code into your standard. SAP has provided a different routes, so that if the system gets upgraded, it will not going to affect you. It will not going to affect. Okay, so remember always that you might have an access to edit it, but we should never ever do that. We should never ever do that in case of either in ECC or in S4. And even when you are asking to provide the access key, no one is going to provide you the access key. No one is going to provide this access key. Remember that. No one is going to provide this access key. Okay, so it will always be a display mode. Now how to change, how to add the new fields over here, we do have a different approach for that, so that we are going to teach you today. Now the next thing is the custom database tables. So these tables will be created by us. These tables will be created by us. So we do, and for these we do have the change option. We do have your change option. Now how to add the structure to the custom database tables. Custom database tables. How to add the structure. To add this, open the table in the change mode. To add this, open the table, open the table in the change mode, and then in the under the field name, under the field name, provide it as dot include, under the field name it has dot include, and under the data element, sorry, under the data element, provide the structure name, whatever you have created, the structure name, you have to provide your structure name, whether it can be a standard structure or whether it can be a custom structure, nothing to worry about that. So it can be a standard, it can be a standard or your custom. That's it. Once you provide this, click on save and activate. Click on save and activate. That's it. Once you provided that, that's it. You don't need to do anything. So this is what you have to do it. So now if I open my table in my change mode, so /n SE11. So now let me open my table. Let me open my table in the change mode. Now here, what I need to do, under the field name, you have to provide this as dot include. Or here you need to provide this as your structure name. What is the structure name I have created? SE11. So this is my structure name. Copy this and paste it over here. And paste it over here. Just click on enter. See here, the data type will be your structure, STRU. Now activate. Now activate. That's it. Now if I go back, when I click on display, see here, the fields which are in the blue color are the added fields from your structure or incorporated from your structure, but the black fields are the fields which we have added. When I go to your change mode, it won't be showing you those, but when you go to your display mode, it will be showing you that. As we have done the changes to your existing table and we do have a TMG, what I need to do, utilities, table maintenance generator, click on edit, and you have to create your table maintenance generator. You need to redefine your table maintenance generator. Remember that. So everything post the table maintenance generator, if you have done anything to your table, you have to recreate your table maintenance generator. I already told you this. So that's what I'm going to do it. So this is how you have to add your fields to your structure. This is how you have to add your fields which are there in your structure to your custom database tables. To your custom database tables. Now, how to add the fields to your standard database tables? How to add the structure to the standard database tables? So, for standard tables, we don't have an edit option. We don't have an edit option. So now, as we don't have a change option or edit, I can say this as edit slash the change option. So that means you can't able to do any changes. Then how can we add? So we don't have a edit option. So SAP has provided a placeholder. SAP has given us a placeholder called as the append structure. The append structure. Now if you go here, you can see a button called as your append structure. So now let me remove this and let me activate. So I'm going to do that in my custom table only. So why? Because in order to activate this standard table, it will take some good amount of time, and we don't know where that the standard table has been used. It can be used at many places. Every place it has to be adjusted, which will take a good amount of time. So in real time, usually we will be doing it in the night times where the system is slow, where the system is slow. We will always do that in your night times where the system is slow, or where the users is not using the system very much. So that means if you are working for a US project, we will be doing in the US timings. We will be doing in the US night timings, that is India day timing. So India day timing, we will be doing that, so that US people will not work on that system, will not work on that system. So let's consider this as your standard table. So let's consider this as your standard table where you don't have your edit option. Now, if I want to add my structure, you need to click on this append structure and provide your structure name. So just click on your append structure. The steps to add the structure, steps to add the structure to the standard tables. Standard tables. So the first thing is the open the standard table in the display mode, in the display mode, and then click on the append structure button. Append structure button, and then we need to provide the structure name. We need to provide the structure name. We have to provide your structure name. So this is, so this we need to provide the new structure. So we can't able to use the structure, we can't able to use the structure which is there in SE11. So whatever the structure you have created in SE11, you can't able to use it over here. You can't. We have to create always your new structure. The naming conventions is we will start with ZZ. Will always starts with your ZZ. Why? Because let's say, for example, they have created a Z structure by SAP. For suppose, for your bad luck, the Z structure has been created with the same name. So which can create an issue when you are upgrading the system. So that's the reason we'll always create with ZZ. We'll always create with your ZZ. Followed by your description, because we can't able to use this at any place. Okay, and click on continue, click on continue, click on continue. Now SAP will open a screen where where we need to provide the fields and its data elements and its data elements. So that's it. You have to provide the fields and its data elements. Now I'm going to take this as ZZ, the append fields. The append fields. I'm going to take this as. Now click on continue. Now see here, when I open this, it's a structure, it's just a structure, but if you see here, it's an append structure. So that's the difference. You are going to append this in one single table. So this structure you can't able to use it in multiple tables. Whereas this structure, you can able to use it in multiple custom tables as well as multiple custom structures. This is a custom structure, but you are going to use it in one table only. But this is a custom structure where you can use it at multiple places. Okay. So this is the difference between your normal structure versus your append structure. So the new custom fields. Now here I'll just say .include I'm going to take this as types and I'm going to use my structure over here. I can use my structure over here. So now I can say activate. I told you that we can use your structure. We can use your structure inside your structure. Now if I go back, see here under this append, you have added your include, and those have been added your fields. From this include structure, you got your fields. So this is what your append structure is. So how many append structures we can add? So SAP will open your structure, please provide the fields and its data elements and click on save and activate. Click on save and activate by providing the TR and the package. TR and the package. Now, in real time, how many append structures we can add? How many append structures we can add? So the maximum append structures we can add it are 14. The maximum append structures we can add it are 14. More than that, system will not allow you to add the append structure. Now you can also ask me a question. Can I add a new field to my existing append structure? Yes, you can add it. So how to add that? So just click on your append structure. It will show you your append structure. Select this and there is a, so or else double click on this. Now go to your change mode and you can add whatever fields you want. So you don't need to create multiple structures. You don't need to create multiple structures. You can add the new fields in your existing structures too. So that is what we will be doing in real time. Now, this is one way of adding a custom fields or a custom fields into your standard table. There is an another way also. So there is an another way. So in so when we are in real time, if we got a chance to add a new fields to the standard table, the standard tables, don't blindly create a append structure. Don't blindly create your append structure. Check if SAP has provided a dummy structure. In few tables, SAP will provided a dummy structure. Starts with CI underscore. It will always starts with your CI underscore. Your CI underscore. So just check if you have any dummy structure with CI underscore. If we have this, then we need to add the fields into this structure only. This structure only. We don't need to create your append structures. We don't need to create your append structure. Remember that. So now how to check that? So let me tell you this. So this is also an interview question. So how you have added, how you have added your fields. Don't blindly say that. First of all, I will check whether I have an CI include. If I have a CI include, then I will be going to add the fields in my CI include. If I don't have a CI include, then I will be going with my append structure. This is the first step, and this is will be your second step. This will be your second step. Now, if I go to my standard table Mara, if I go to my standard table Mara, so this is the material master table. When you create any materials in SAP, this table will be gets updated. So now just say Control F and check for CI underscore. So we don't have anything with the CI underscore. Now in this case, you have to go ahead with your append structure. But if I go to something called as your AUFK table, which is nothing but your order master data, which is nothing but your plant maintenance order master data. So in this, if I check this, you will be having something called as CI underscore AUFK. Now if I double click on this, it will allow me to change. It will allow me to change, but you can ask me, as this is a standard, why it is allowing me to change. So for this include, this is a dummy structure, so SAP has provided some dummy placeholders also, which can be started with your which can be started with your which can be started with not with Z or Y, but it will be editable. So if it is provided with this dummy, so CI, you have to add this new, you have to add the fields over here. If it is not provided, then you have to go ahead with your append structure. Then we have to go ahead with your append structure. This is all about your structures. This is all about your structures. Any questions, guys? Any questions? So Ayappa, Hari, Himanshu, Sachin, Shravani, Venkatesh. Any questions?
No, Ravi.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ravi,
Thanks for
hello.
confirming. Sorry, Himanshu. Any questions?
Yes, yes. Can you add multiple structure in a customized table?
Sorry, sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you please repeat that?
Can we add multiple structure inside the custom table?
Yeah, you can add. So I told you, right? If you want to add any append structure, you can add 14. But how many include structures you can add? N number of include structures we can add in your custom tables. N number of include structures you can add in your custom tables. But there is one more point. Very good question. So the append structures will always add at the last. So if you see here, the append structure will always add at your last. Whereas if I want an include structure, let me go ahead and change this one, or else if I want to delete an append structure, let's say I have created an append structure and I want to delete this. Now select this and click on your delete. Select this and click on your delete, and I just say click on your delete, that the append structure will be gets deleted. Now if I say activate this one, now, if I go to my change mode, the include structure, wherever you want, you can add it. So if I go ahead and add a plus button over here, dot include, and you can add your structure over here. But whereas the append structures, you have, it will add, the system will add at the last only. So now you can also ask me, can I keep my include structures in my key fields? Yes, you can make this include structure as your key field. Now all the fields inside this structure will act like as your key fields too. So that is possible in case of all your includes, but that's not going to be possible in case of your append. Append will always be added at your last. Okay, clear, Himanshu?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all about your structures. Now in tomorrow's class, we are going to see something called as your currency slash quantity reference fields, and then we are going to start it with your views. So what is meant by this currency slash quantity fields? So that we are going to see, and then we are going to start it with your views. So, and then what are the different types of joins that are available, and what are the different views that are available in SAP, and then we are going to see your search help, and then we are going to see the document flows and the corresponding transaction codes and its tables. What are its tables? So when you create when you go ahead and do a postings in those transaction codes, which tables that are going to be gets updated, all those things we are going to check in your upcoming class. Once these topics have been completed, then we are straight away going ahead with your programming. So mostly by next Wednesday onwards, we'll be starting with your programming. Okay, so that's the end of today's session. So I have to continue, but due to my health issues, I can't able to continue the session. So please don't mind. So I'll be continuing. I'll be taking the next details in your tomorrow's session. So that's all for today. Before I signing off, any other questions? Okay, I'll be considering it as no questions, and the video will be gets uploaded in another 2 to 3 hours, and you can able to download your video. Thank you all.